Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from PORKYS Corner, and still the biggest gob in sport. A few technical issues this morning, but I think we're sorted now. Today we're joined by Louis from London. How are you doing, Lewis?
What's happening, Russ? You all right?
I'm all right, mate. What are you up to?
Yeah, just doing a bit of revision. I've got the FIFA agent exam coming up next month. Yeah, just been revising. Just been revising.
Good man. Good man. Obviously, this is your PORKYS Corner debut. You're not nervous, are you, kid?
Yeah, no, you know what? I've been watching the channel for a little while. And yeah, you know what? I like the content, and what I like is it's just straight. It's just straightforward, straight down the middle. No bullshitting
Yeah.
about. That's so yeah. I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me get involved.
The general vibe of the I don't like to call it show, but channel is we just we're not being spoken to with any respect, boxing fans, and this is why my channels took this different route. And I feel that if I don't say anything, all these reactors, they're not going to point anything out, and all they're doing is basically ripping off fans. Like, for example, a promoter, he'll put a show out. This is what we're putting out on this day. Oh, everybody's, oh, brilliant. Look at this show. We need to get a ticket. We need to put money aside for pay-per-view and have a group of people around, blah, blah, blah. By the time we get to these shows, they've all fell apart, aren't they? But a lot of the fights that are made, I know because I speak to matchmakers that that fight's not going to happen. That definitely ain't going to happen, especially on
Mhm.
small all shows.
Yeah,
But it's just lip service to keep paymasters happy, mainly TV companies. And when it
yeah,
gets to fight week, everything seems to fall apart. So that's a big issue with me. The other big issue is the drugs, the drugs. People failing dope tests. People are getting punched in head and people are doped up. There's people that have served bans. We've got world champion boxers that are going missing 18 months. We've got
mhm.
fantastic prospects going missing 18 months, and we're hearing these people are injured, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Well, why are they getting rid of, why are they not getting rid of the trainers? Is there non-disclosures for a lot of these kids that are going missing? We're never going to get to know because nobody's allowed to speak about it, not even the board. So I feel that if I don't do anything, nobody's going to do. And if other people want to set channels up and use my concept, I ain't got a problem with that because the more the merrier. You see what I mean? But I don't want to sound negative about boxing, but sometimes my channel can be a bit negative. But I don't like to listen to BS constantly, especially when half of them text me on here and they say one thing to me and then they're saying another in interviews and social media. I've got no time for these people now. Washed my hands of them because they're just liars, vagabonds, and charlatans. I'm gonna go after a lot of them. So this is how I feel about boxing at the moment. We're being lied to. You've just seen Conor Ben and Chris Eubank, an English level kid against an English stroke British level kid on the slide, 36 next birthday. You've just seen that they've had millions, hard at job, and it's as if it never happened. The dope tests. So I don't know what's your general feel of it all, Louis?
Yeah, you know what? A lot you s- I get a lot of it what you just said, and you're right. You are right. A lot of it is to please the paymasters and what have you. I think it's just really boxing at the moment. It's a real sorry for my language, but it's a shit show. You
Yeah.
know, it's yeah, it's gone way off the track. And you know, I think slowly but surely the public are starting to you know they're starting to wake up to it all. And what it is with channels like yourself, people are starting to gravitate towards it. And even down to Hearn, the going back 4 or 5 years, he was the golden man, But now people are, it's diarrhea mouth. They know what's coming out of his mouth. They're not buying into it anymore. They're not buying into it. And this is why now I believe, even like I said, people like yourself and other channels, certain other channels are starting to get more, they're getting more listeners, more traction because people just want to hear the truth. And they're not trying to feed into the crap. And that's how it is at the moment. It's a lot of crap. But the joke of it is a lot of them that are doing the talking, they don't realize they're so lost in their own crap, their own bullshit, and their web of lies. They're delusional. They're delusional now. They don't realize that the public now see through right what they're saying like a bloody X-ray. We can see through it, and we're not buying into it. Whereas before they had the public, they've lost them now, but they don't realize that. And this is where it's slowly changing, and there's a shift. There is a shift in boxing, and unfortunately, it is going downhill again. Compared to where it was, but people are not realizing that.
Look at the
Um,
box rankings. All you got to do is add all the rankings up for any show. There's 6 fights on, that's 12 fighters. Add all the rankings up and then divide it by 12. And then go back 10 year and look at the rankings, what they were pulling up then. It's pish. What is pay-per-view now would be chief support 10 year ago. You see where
yeah,
I'm coming from? That's where we're at now. Because the stars are not there. They keep digging stars up constantly. But my argument is this: why don't we go back to people going for area belts, English, Commonwealth, British, and let them go for the British outright and learn the crafts instead of people getting a bit of a social media following and then thinking, well, we'll go from area level, we'll put these on world title money and put them in a world title fight, or get them a big fight, no belt. I mean, have you noticed now? Eddie Hills, the Iceman, 7-0, 5 by way of course. He's coming out now and saying things like, well, Joshua and Fury, it don't really matter about belts. It's all complicated when it's for belts. But what happened to all roads lead to undisputed? His words, not mine. His words. See where I'm coming from? Because they've got to sell it now, haven't they? Because they've both been knocked about. And it's just a case of mopping up the crumbs now, or hoovering up the crumbs and a few crusts if there is any. Because Usyk's ran through the lot of the money.
100%. And I think this is, the wagons came off when Joshua decided. Hearn was trying to navigate Joshua away from fighting Usyk. Let's not forget that. He knew what was going to happen. Joshua, I give it to him. He was like, no, I want to fight him. Fought him and lost. And then that's when that messed up the whole division, because since then, no one's been able to beat him, and no one can beat him out of this crop that's here. Now, it's like, all right, well, park him up on one side, and then now it's all right, well, yeah, less Joshua Fury. And the thing is, they're going to fight, but they're way past their best, both of them, way past their best. Especially what happened with Joshua and Dubois. Knocked 7 bells out of him, and he can't even have a rebuild fight. He has to go straight into the Fury fight. Likewise, Fury, he has to go straight into the Joshua fight. It's messed up. But this happened from when Joshua decided to fight Usyk, and everything's fallen down.
I personally don't think Tyson Fury's art's in it, but I think he's still good enough to beat Joshua, who's scared of his own shadow. They're not going to risk Joshua going near anybody now, unless it's Tyson Fury. I don't see him fighting anybody. They could talk about Wilder and Dylan White, but if, for example, one lucky punch done Joshua in that fight, you can forget Tyson Fury fight. Nobody would buy into it, because what nerve would they have to put that fight on if Joshua got slaughtered against Dylan White or Wilder? How could he sell it to us?
Yeah, no, you're right. They're not gonna. They're not gonna. What they're trying to do now is Joshua's, he's been given lip service to say he's been injured. And personally, I thought what he should have done is, do what Fury done. I mean, I'm retiring as well. That's what he should have done, because, like you said, they're not going to risk him. Instead, he's running around saying he's got an injury. And it's like now, it's a game of chicken to see who's going to, who's going to come back first. Joshua ain't going to fight until he knows what Fury's doing. Fury saying he's retired. Now he's teasing a comeback. The only fight Fury is going to fight is Joshua. He's not going to fight no one else.
Yeah.
They can't go. Both of them cannot go nowhere else. Fury has got some left more in the tank than Joshua, but who is he going to fight? One, for the money he's going to command, and two, who? There's no one. He's flogging, oh yeah, I'm going to fight Usyk for a third time. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Well, I watched the Fury fight when he got beat twice against Usyk. In each fight, I didn't really see anything in him after round 9. It was just a case of him running clock down and hoping that the judges were going to do him a favour, like in the John McDermott fight, and it was the sole judge. and referee
Yeah,
for a 10 round English fight, Terry O'Connor. He gave it to Fury, didn't he, over McDermott? Now,
correct.
I think Fury were hoping that he had Turkey in his corner. I think he were hoping for some favours, and I think that's why Dummy got spat out. And then he was signed up for rematch, and Dummy got spat out after there. But there's only one fight for him now, Joshua. But they'll try and get a trilogy out of that, so they can get 3 paydays for no belt, and they'll keep Usyk on the outside. I mean, Usyk, they're not giving him his flowers. He is the undisputed guy. He's a gentleman. He is what we've always wanted. If he was English, he'd be knighted now, and he'd be having tea with Queen and chocolate biscuits. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
what would be happening now if Usyk were English. Now, Usyk's never going to get his flowers, but he always seems to me in every single show with how the media's all set up, whether it be Sky or DAZN, and the actual guys asking the questions, the press row, the big dogs, all 47, 48 of them from all around the
mhm,
world that get them seats. It always looks to me like everything's geared, especially from UK media, that Usyk's the B side. He's achieved what he's achieved, and he's always like the afterthought. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing away from home. It's never about him in the build-up. It's always about the other guys. Like this one with Zabar. All they can talk about is this low blow. That's it.
yeah.
And they got anything else to talk about? Why don't they want to talk about how he quit off a jab? He quit and turned
Well,
his head after getting jabbed. Nobody wants to mention that. Not Talk Sport, not any of them, because they're all frightened to death. Forget about that low blow, whether it were borderline or what. There's a referee in there dictating pace. If it were a low blow, Usyk, if he's been hit low, he's going to take time out. If it were borderline and he's hurt a little bit, he's going to take time out if the referee lets him. The referee calls the shots. It would have been the same with the guy on the other foot. But looking at it, to me, it looks like it weren't a low blow. It might have been fraction borderline, but for me, I thought it was low. And I've seen a lot worse. But it is what it is. They're not going to ask these questions, these media guys, because they're frightened to death. And they're part of the problem, the media, because they're allowing it to happen on their watch. And that goes for people like Adam Cattrall and that, who is it, the Scouse kid, Nick Pete. They're
yeah,
all getting crumbs and crusts from Talksport, but then they're going on their YouTube channels and they're not pushing the same narrative. Same with that AD Alapido, him,
yeah,
Puppy Parson, the Gad. They've all got YouTube channels, but what they say on their YouTube channels is not what they're saying on Talksport, the Big Daddy one. That's where everybody goes now for the content, Talksport. So this is where we're at. Same for Simon Jordan. He started off with good intentions and they've been softened up down the line. This is what happens. So this kid here won't be softening up. We've seen it with Froch, who I've known 18 years. Softened up. After all
yeah.
that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Didn't do nothing. Didn't do nothing. So that's where we're at the moment. But my argument is the media have allowed it to happen. They've not got into these guys and said, here, come on. Dubois quit in round 8 or 9 or whichever round it was. Usyk punched him upside down. Punched him upside down after that
Yeah,
low blow. Was it a low blow? Wasn't it? After that, he got punched upside down. But he also had a 3.5 minute break, didn't
correct.
he? It works both
Correct.
ways, Lewis. But that's where we're at on that. But I want to, before we cover the two shows that have been on at the weekend, I just want to finish off on Conor Benn. He was in the fight with Eubank. What did you make about all that? We've got about 7, 8 minutes, the rest of part one. What did you make of the old Conor Benn situation from start to finish?
You know what? I think, fortunately for Ben, if it happened, before when he got banned the first time, if it happened then, I think it would have been more of a closer fight because Eubank was way, way, way drained. This time he was drained still, but again, Ben still couldn't beat him. He still couldn't beat him, and he was bowled down, drained. He was literally. The joke is, in the first fight, he said, "Oh, I'll only need 60% to beat you." Fast forward 2.5 years to or 3 years to where we are now, he beat Ben with 60%. That's the whole joke of it. He was bowled down, beat him. Ben, I don't know. With Ben, I get it. If for Eddie Hills, Ben's just a meal ticket. You know, Ben has not he's not fought his way up through the proper channels. He's avoided the likes of Josh Kelly, avoided Abinesium. He's avoided, Denzel Bentley. All the channels he should have went through, he's avoided, and he just skipped to Eubank, and now he's running off his mouth, giving it the big I am. No, no, no. Don't get me wrong. I like how explosive he is, but it doesn't. You're fighting against someone that was bowled down, someone that was on literally 50, 60%. And it showed you that in the aftermath, Eubank was in hospital for a couple of days. So you can't. There's still no real measure stick in how good Ben is. But personally, I don't think he'll get found out if he fights if he goes to world level.
Yeah.
And I believe he would have got found out fighting Josh Kelly. And Eddie knows this. Eddie knows this. But again, it's PR. It's the narratives that all the other YouTube channels spin. Everyone's not sorry for my language, but sucking him off and what have you. Even what made me sick was that woman in the press conference afterwards.
Oh, you
I
heard
was
that, did you?
moaning. Yeah, no, no, no. You know what? It triggered me, to be honest. It triggered me. Yeah, it triggered me because she was sucking him. I was like, it was just. But again, it's all made up PR to make it sound better. But again, I believe, in life, people don't like to hear the truth, but you've got to respect the truth. And this is why a lot of these other channels, everyone's on the payroll. And with like when it comes to like Ade and the Gad and even down to Adam Catchall and what have you, I used to subscribe to Adam's chat. When they first came in, they were straight talking.
Yeah.
And then you could see the way the narrative's changed. And what I believe is when they're on Talk Sport, obviously they've got to stick to a script. But what I believe's happened now is off Talk Sport, on your own channels now, right, you can go, we're going to give you, you're basically, they're on a leash. We're going to let that leash go a little bit, but you're going to get pulled back. You can only go to, out of 10, you can go to 7 to make it seem like you're saying something different. But you can't go 10 out of 10. Otherwise, you're going to get back in. They're all on the payroll. So they can't say too much. And at the end of the day, they're looking at it, they want to get paid. They've got food to put on the table. They want to get paid. But it messes up the sport. And this is the problem. It messes up the sport of boxing. But ultimately, does anyone give a shit? No, because everyone wants to get paid.
Yeah, Crusher Ben out there in New York doing interviews with the usual lot, and they're talking, well, you're dead to be great, Con. Is that what line they're going to give us? Dead to be great. What? Dragging a kid down in weight?
It's the narrative. This is it. This is the narrative, and everyone's spinning that same, and again, even down to that, everyone's saying it, so he's believing it. That's the thing. He's believing it now. And it'll be interesting to see who's he going to fight next, because look at the payday he got for fighting Eubank. What he's going to get a fraction of that, whoever he fights next. And is he going to want to go and do that?
No, he's going to run around like a bad smell, calling all the big dogs out at 147 and 154, and then he's going to fight Eubank at 160, and they're going to let him hydrate to whatever, right? And because he'll just want the payday. And what's the problem anyway? If it's the same weight day before, they rehydrate to what they want. I'm sure if Ben starts getting a few special shakes down, he soon put a bit of weight on. I mean, what were we talking? He weighed in 156, £4 difference. He'll make that £4 up in 6 months.
Yeah, 100%, he will. But again, I do believe Eubank at his normal weight would have KO'd him. He would have sent him to bloody Butter Moon. He would have sent him NASA straight up there.
Could you imagine, Lewis, Conor Ben against Garcia or Devanini or any of those guys?
No. They're on a different level to him. But again, even down to them now, it's like when you look at Haley. After that beating what he took, he's gone into the Joshua bubble where he's scared to get hit now. He's scared to get hit. You could see it. The fair's there. He's scared to commit in his punches. Yeah. Garcia, I don't know what's happened to him. Don't know what's happened to him. It's like whatever he was on before. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Again, even down to him, he was saying, he's come out his whiffo, he wasn't concentrating, and his mind was on other things and what have you. It's all BS. It's all BS.
Well, a bit like Turkey holding hands with Terence Crawford. How embarrassing for Terence Crawford there. How can he be classed as a roadman when he's holding the guy's hands?
Yeah, the joke is he's actually, he's actually a killer, but seeing that, it's like everyone wants a paycheck. That's what it is. Everyone wants, everyone wants a paycheck. So everyone, they fall in line. That's what it is. No matter how much they've got already, they're all falling in line. That's the way it seems to me.
All right. Well, listen, do you want to go on to the part two link, Lewis? And I'll see you on there, yeah?
Yeah, all good, all good, all
Cheers,
good.
mate. All right.
All right.
Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Let me know what you think in bottom corner. I'm not sure which corner it is, but there's an email there, and you can use that if you're interested in coming on and doing a Zoom. You have to send your WhatsApp number in, and we'll have a chat with you on video beforehand. So, okie dokie. One, peace out.